I have a question for New York. They call it rush hour here, but nothing is moving. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
So we are incredibly grateful to be here this morning, and I welcome each and every one of you, especially our speakers. The Elie Wiesel Foundation, in partnership with the World Uyghur Congress and the Uyghur Human Rights Project, for convening this largest ever NYC interfaith gathering devoted to publicizing the plight of the Uyghur people. I don't need to share with you statistics. You already know over 1.5 million Uyghurs are subjected to detention, forced labor, and cultural erasure. Yesterday, I went home with a heavy heart because myself and my colleagues, the Muslim women speakers, we are working in the trenches addressing the rising anti-Semitism in this beautiful country. And I thought, now this is another pain and a sadness and a sorrow and a grievance that we have to put our effort equally and or more. Because anti-Semitism is that old hatred in new overalls, slowly wedged into issues of social justice. And that's what we are seeing on college campuses. So, as a South Asian Muslim woman, let us not forget there are 620 million Muslims in South Asia. We need to raise our voices for anti-Semitism, for the genocide against the Uyghurs. We have a greater responsibility, which does not end with this conference, but it just begins with this conference. As a community organizer, I'm more interested in what will you do when you go home. So may I ask you to turn to the person next to you, behind you, in front of you, introduce yourself. Because when there's community and when there's solidarity, we are not victims. So please take a moment to get to know somebody that you have just barely seen but not spoken. And thank you. And my friends, let us not forget, what we need today is power. And power is organizing people. You and I alone, we can't do much, but we need people. Organizing people is getting to know people and then taking strategic action in solidarity. And Elie Wiesel reminds us in his own words, I swore never to be silent whenever and wherever human beings endure suffering and humiliation. We must always take sides, he said. No human race is superior. No religious faith is inferior. We believe the Holocaust taught us world lessons, but today, sadly, in our living memory, having heard and going through the egregious genocide and the obliteration of Jewish people that happened during the Holocaust, we are witnessing similar forces trying to bring down the Jewish nation and the Jewish people, and we will speak up. Because, thank you. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And let us not forget, we are gathered here to do work of cosmic proportions. So physically things may seem daunting, but we have other forces that will come to our aid as we proceed. And I want to remind you briefly the story of David and Goliath. How many of you know that story? No? Yeah. Who thought that David had a slingshot? And I ask you, I urge you, and I remind you that we have to find our own slingshots. So I will not go further. I'm going to introduce our three panelists, speakers this morning. And it is a great honor and pleasure for me to introduce Elisha Wiesel. He's the chairman of the Elie Wiesel Foundation for Humanity. Elisha shares his father's message and continues his legacy by standing up for persecuted communities. In the last few years, he has spoken at the United Nations about the persecution of Uyghurs. Elisha is currently starting a hedge fund, rebooting the Elie Wiesel Foundation, chairing an Israeli startup in the fintech space, learning a little Talmud, he says, every day, volunteering as a ski patroller even though he rides a snowboard, and generally trying to be a good father, a good husband and a good son. Please welcome Elisha.